Can I talk about Cody's part in this?
Yeah.
Before we talk about the Seth thing?
Yes.
Okay. In fact, when can I talk about the press conference? Because I wasn't
Well, I'll tell you, yeah. Like, we're on Cody. We're about to get to Seth. And, yeah, you're off on Friday, so we haven't had a proper chance to catch up yet. I guess your thoughts on where the press conference started, how it got to, and now where we're at.
Let's talk the press conference before this Raw segment, okay? Let's do that. I thought it says something about my relationship with WWE television that this was automatically better. I saw your tweet about how this is awesome because it's like Raw, but without a 3-star 12-minute mid-card match threatening to break out. I agreed with that wholeheartedly. I think that it was a really effective, like truly effective bit of business that the qualms I had with were ultimately trivial, didn't matter. It felt like it lacked the true, this is real, as opposed to the TV where we are a bit performative and all the rest of it. They literally had a Titantron. It wasn't a gag on there, but they had the Titantron thing. The Rock's promo in particular had that, I know you're going to say what, so I'm going to space out my lines rhythm.
Snapped straight in, wrestler brain kicked
that
in for the
WWE brain of line, what, line, what, line, what, line, what. And the slap, it just felt so staged. Like you did not, I mean, I doubt with someone like The Rock there that you're going to get that energy of, holy, this is broken down and it's gone awry. Leather him in the face. Leather him in the face, have hordes of security holding back Cody, who loses it, absolutely loses it. It was like Triple H going, oh, sorry, I think we need the guy with the biggest cock to sort this one out.
The game
Triple H. I would have had it like security detail, like filtering out the more tense it got. I would have sold the idea that these morons were chanting what, these obnoxious people chanting what. Just talk over them. Do not get into the rhythm of TV. This is meant to be different to TV. This is completely distinct from TV, but that TV vibe crept into it. In terms of the way it was plotted, nonsensical. I did really like this.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really effective, but I did have problems with the whole thing. Now, going down the line now, if people went, oh my God, yay, The Rock versus Roman Reigns, and it was like, we love Cody, but The Rock's here.
Yeah.
No chance this happens.
No,
and then you've got Cody versus, you got Punk versus Rollins. So what really happens? I don't think we'll ever get to the end of that, but I do think a pivot was made. I got worked, bro, and I genuinely think that's one of the reasons why I enjoyed this so much. We spoke in these seats pretty much this time last week about Roman seemingly for no reason burying Seth and his title, great pop, into the center of the earth, the core of the earth. Turns out there was a really good reason why he said that, which I thought was incredibly politically shark-like at the time, and yet, no, they've sort of made it mean something in retrospect. They've done a fantastic job of booming me. They boomed me. I'm more than happy to be worked. I was like, oh, that's a great bit of thought. Yeah. That is a great bit of detail.
It was certainly better than when he called out Seth's shoes. Like, he was running short on patter on the stage, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You came in your wife's shoes. I think that H wears pretty cool clothes like that.
Yeah. So I do think it was uneven, and you'll never tie everything together in a neat bow. Like the idea of Cody just giving away the title shot, it feels very contrived. It feels like a pivot, but my God, it feels big. And as I said on X at the time, follow me at M Sidgwick. This was nowhere near as clever as it thought it was, but they had a bit of ambition about it. They had a bit of a unusual approach to it.
Yeah.
Very different to a traditional WrestleMania build. And I will take a flawed new idea over Triple H's tick box creative. And using the preeminent example, I will get to Cody's promo on Raw imminently. Like the Cody Brock program, face squeaks by in match where it didn't feel like he was the winner. Heel gets revenge by cheating in second match. Face wins clean in the third. That is WWE Trilogy Booking 101.
Yeah.
And it's very much how Triple H goes about things. And after 20 years of it, I'm like, where's the spark? Where's the thought? Where's the sense of shaking things up and doing something a little bit different? Where's the bold quality that I want in my pro wrestling? I got an albeit very flawed version of it at the press conference. And I'm Will Bourne, our erstwhile host. He's not erstwhile, he's just on holiday. Loves him some Rock.
Yep.
And he loves him some Roman. And he loves some being very standing up for WWE in my face. Mm-hmm. Ordinarily, I'll say this to his face. Ugh, go away, Will Bourne. I very much wanted to be in the office with him on Friday. What was he unbearable?
He was just,
Was he cock a hoop?
Oh, yeah. He was just hyped out the ass.
But his two favourites, like, together.
But I knew that.
The two-man power trip, except good and a commercial success.
Because he was DMing me at 1 a.m. because we were both watching live and then unable to go to sleep because it was too exciting.
Jesus Christ, I wish I hadn't asked.
And it was obviously just carried over. It's on a news video, which you can still check on our YouTube channel, because basically Friday's news is just consumed by this massive boot off and all the permutations and the like. So you'll get some hype Will Bourne in there if you want to catch it.
Okay.
What I'll say about that, the point about Roman especially, I think he had to ultimately, like in advance, I guess, he had to remind everybody of his spot, because he now faces his own unique challenge of not being overshadowed by The Rock. Now that they're on the same side, it was quite strange how all of a sudden Roman went back to looking half his size, and it all went very 2015 Royal Rumble. I think they'll overcome that. I think that was one night, and they've done the work with Roman, and that's not an issue. As relates to Cody, and this sort of ties us back to the Raw promo, what they haven't done yet, maybe they just won't, and it's wrestling, you can drop. So I don't like it, and I think they should get around it. I think the feeling on the night in Las Vegas was like injected with electricity when Cody came out last, because that was the moment that everybody collectively, if you've watched enough wrestling, knew Cody's getting the shot back.
Yeah.
They haven't ordered this in such a way
Yeah.
for Cody not to get the shot back. And for me personally, I could relax into it. I was like, I don't know what they're doing here, and I'm pretty excited by it, but I know fundamentally Cody's going to say to Roman, I choose you, and it's going to be that match. And that was what it was all about all along. That was where if you really invested in WWE, I think that's where everything fell apart last week, because The Rock coming out just felt like it was very old-fashioned WWE, we'll just do what we like. And this was what you'd hated from Will Bourne. This is where he'd have got you. Right, the thing I've always said, Sage, is that WWE's a listening company, right? But this is the case where there's been the first time, probably in this Triple H creative regime, where a crowd has asked a pretty massive question of the booking, and they have pivoted and they have listened, and it's with nowhere near the stubbornness of Daniel Bryan in 2014. Like, nowhere near.
Yeah.
And I think all of that was refreshing as this, like, very show-busy, very WWE chaos was playing out on stage. I think those two things came together quite nicely. But Cody, including on Raw here, not addressing why he said, but not at WrestleMania.
That's why it's not as clever as it thinks.
Huge pothole that hasn't yet been filled.
And I don't think they will. Before we get to the Seth thing, which is basically the meat of this, I want to put over Cody Rhodes because he's brilliant at this, using a really weird analogy, so bear with me. X is a complete swamp that is pretty horrendous to scroll through 99.9% of the time. 0.1% of the time, you get a tweet or tweets so good that you're like, well, I can't stay away. Yeah. It's like the worst serotonin ever. One of those tweets is like, Drill does it, and there's others that do it, where they just completely poke fun at the idea of masculinity and badasses, and they just make a complete mockery of it. And I think it's a Drill tweet where he says, I rev up my motorcycle, drive up clouds of smoke. When they evaporate, I'm just dead. So the idea, I love that stuff like that. Cody Rhodes, in his just complete and utter at the chicken nuggets line, could not have done more with great comedic timing to just highlight what a relic The Rock and his act is.
Grow up.
I grew up,
Dwayne.
What am I doing with these chicken nuggets?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing with them? I thought Cody did an excellent job, not just of undermining The Rock's absolutely ancient prehistoric shtick, but of telling you yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to like be a good baby face who can be self-deprecating at times and not be this parody of a bloke. This is very much it's 2024. What are we doing here?
It's like I keep thinking, like last week especially, it was easy to slot Cody into that role. Like, why are they doing this of all people to Cody Rhodes? Because he's not a Daniel Bryan, he's a John Cena, he's a Hulk Hogan. He's better than those because in obviously very different generations, they would have like just laughed along with the chicken over it. Good one. You know, the only time like people still post that clip of like, here's Cena, Ether, and The Rock from their like WrestleMania program. It's very much the only time Cena gets serious in the story. He says, yeah, go Patter, I'll shove it in my ass, but like, hey, I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania. And like, that's, oh, great, nice one, John. Like, I'll watch the other 11 months of the year when you do what The Rock's saying to you right now, but you do it to other people.
He had
so hypocritical
cheek during that Mania build. Some of his tweets as well.
Yeah. Oh, he's so funny. He accused The Rock of homophobic language in his promos.
John Cena did that.
Yeah. Anyway, there's no John Cena here. It's Cody Rhodes.
Thank Christ.
It's Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. I'm going to take a gamble on this button. That's what plays in Lexington, Kentucky as he comes out.
And everyone sings the song.
Sings that along with him, yeah. And he says he was looking forward to defending his world title against Cody at WrestleMania, but he understands the decision. He understands why he picked Roman Reigns. He understands why he needs that title. He's got to finish the story. And there are millions of people around the world that want you to finish the story. We could all see that. And now the decision is made. Let me make this clear to you. You need to finish the story. You need to do it for you. You need to do it for me, for your dad, for everybody here. And I'll tell you why. If you don't beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and take the championship from him, the landscape on the other of WrestleMania is very, very dark. Roman Reigns gets more power. He gets more leverage. He shows up less. He defends leverage. If I reminded myself of Becky Lynch later on saying gym class. Like, you don't need to say that.
No, it's PE and you know it.
PE, yeah.
PE and you know it. Fear Zed. The glass
cilantro, the Parmesan, the glass ceiling, Sidge, it gets thicker. The brass rings, Sidge, they get further and further away. Remember, he's a Swiss gentleman.
Yeah,
that's why I can't have a brass ring.
Yes,
Swiss people don't have brass rings. They get further away, and it's probably the last real chance that any one of us has a chance to take the title, give the power of that title back to the people. You might be the man for the job, Cody. What's your plan? In that very Seth Rollins way. Because last year you got screwed in the main event of WrestleMania. The Usos were there, Paul Heyman was there, Solo was there, and with Roman Reigns you couldn't get the job done, but you fought your way back. You won the Rumble again. The deck stacks against you just the same, but it's been raised even higher because you're not just dealing with them, you're dealing with the biggest star and most influential man in the entire entertainment industry. You've got to deal with The Rock. By mentioning the name of The Rock, this is quite smart from Seth. You got the huge Rocky Sucks chant. That was like the break he needed to be able to say, Lexington, I agree with you, which is why I came out here to tell you that you don't have to fight this battle alone. You and I haven't always seen eye to eye, but last week you told Roman Reigns you don't just want to take his title from him, you want to take everything from him. There's the line. He doesn't add, but not at WrestleMania, because this would make sense otherwise. And when you said that, I felt that. And this is why at the press conference, when The Rock put his hands on you, I stepped up because I'm sick and tired of people like The Rock or people like Roman Reigns, these arrogant, entitled pricks who think they can do whatever they want to throw their weight around, make any decision with no consequence. I'm sick and tired of them always getting away with it. I've got to admit something to you right now, Cody. The man Roman Reigns is partly my fault. Nearly 12 years ago, we came down those stairs with tactical vests on. We were brothers forged from the same fire. I taught him everything I know. I'm partly responsible for the man he is, but I could have never imagined the monster he's become. And now that monster's got two heads because he's standing side by side with the only man on the planet who is entitled and as selfish as he is. When it comes to fighting the bloodline, when it comes to fighting The Rock, and when it comes to fighting Roman Reigns, there is only one man on earth, you're going to have to help me on this one, Sidge, who is uniquely placed to be your shield. Help us out there? Because
Seth Rollins was in the Shield.
I was thinking maybe Cody was going to do that like superhero thing.
No.
Seth was just going to stand.
Seth famously debuted as part of a faction stable called the Shield. We're being facetious here, being snarky. This is genuinely really, really strong. I did think he kind of looped and talked about the same thing a little bit.
Yeah. He had his big lines to get to, and he would like take that run up if he'd. I forgot that line. I'll do the run up again and do that line again. But they were good, big lines to hit, weren't they?
Good sound bites, well written, probably overwritten. But I mean, I would be a complete dickhead to complain about that if you read my articles. But no, genuinely, this is really, really strong stuff. And I think the best way of highlighting how strong it is that if you were to be told, right, it's 2 weeks ago, we sat in these chairs and Seth tried to petition Cody to come after my title. If you'd said 2 weeks ago that they were, in 2 weeks' time, you will have a promo battle between Cody and Seth, and yeah, they're on the same page, you'd think, oh my God, they've completely bollocks this up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The idea of 2 weeks later, them coming together for the same cause and on the same page, but for like a really great, seemingly out of left field reason. I think they've done a fantastic, flawed, illogical, but fantastic job of building these matches and the continuity as well between WrestleMania 38 and 39 with Cody's story. Lovely bit of probably happenstance.
A little bit, I think, yeah.
But it's been so well done.
I think it's happenstance, but it's in one of them ways where you didn't plan for it, but these two are always going to be in the mix.
Yeah.
And we're always going to be in the conversation. And while it's a happy accident that it's right now, I've said this to you before, I love it in pro wrestling when old rivals like find a common ground. It's so like, I don't know, it makes
respect.
Yeah, respect. It tightens up old rivalries, and it does build, like, it builds the sort of legacy around these two, separate from Roman and The Rock, and builds up Roman Reigns. Like last year, I thought it was all perfect because Cody had basically like got his own little army of baby faces. I can stop the bloodline because I've got Kevin Owens and I've got Sami Zayn. They're going to deal with the Usos. Problem solved. He's like re-solidified his forces, but now he's got the world champion. The going from WrestleMania opponents to a potentially like a WrestleMania tag main event. Just the visual of that is so nice. Like all of Cody's WWE return can include Seth Rollins in the law now.
Yeah.
Like all of the big stuff.
And as well, like through, as much as I earnestly loved that trilogy between Cody and Seth, particularly the third match, even though I think the second went solely underrated personally.
Yeah. That was Cody just refusing to get hit with Seth's big moves and finishes and proving that he was a great counter artist.
Yeah. Really, really, really great stuff. Good as it was, I wasn't gagging to watch them wrestle again pretty much ever. That's what happens when you do that many matches in such a short space of time. Cody versus Seth 4, whenever it happens, feels big now. They've continued, I hate the story between them. Yes, it's really, really strong. I wish my investment for Mania elsewhere was as high as it is, but this tag match...
I was going to ask you, what's your thoughts on this tag? Like, night
great.
one main event,
Looks great.
It's great. Who wins?
Well,
and who loses?
That's the thing. Inherent drama because no one can do the job in that match. Maybe a miscommunication. Cody pins Roman twice or something.
A lot of thought about Cody pinning The Rock and Roman on the same weekend as, you've had everything now, right?
Because I think the idea is they still want to do Rock versus Roman. They can build their conflict by miscommunication or falling out mid-match in that tag. So you're building night two of 40 and 41 all at once, really, on night one of 40 XL. So I think the Rock and Roman, I'm calling it, again, I want to make this canon. People should say this.
A lot of people are saying.
You know what I mean? I deserve to be in the vernacular at this point. Tawny Khan, I mean, come on. I mean, that's unbelievable. Where is my respect? The two-man power trip, ellipsis, but good. It's one of my least, favorite bits of, made-up nostalgia.
Yeah, that kind of
There's two hard guys and they kick ass. Yeah. The two-man power trip was dismal television, a ratings disaster. Oh, Invasion would have been goated if Triple H was there. And no, it would have been worse.
Even worse.
It would have been even worse than it already was. So I'm really into the two-man power trip, but good.
The good line.
What an act it already is, and they've been together for the good line.
You haven't that?
It's better than mine.
Can I do the Wilbon bit with you today?
I resent it.
You know the thing about the two-man power trip? Watch the formation. Triple H gets like the biggest pop of his career because it's like, here's the babyface turn you've been aching for, and he's going to do it against Steve Austin. What? They're going to flip it? He's like, no, I'm too big a heel, actually. I'll turn. I'll stay heel, and Steve Austin's my little friend. Like, he was like making his magician's assistant. I was like, that's the rattlesnake, Paul. Frig off.
You've won, Pat, sadly. You have won.
Aye. No, I totally like, I think Seth Rollins has found himself in a very unique position of having the best political argument to not eat the pin. When he looks on paper like the pin eater. It's kind of amazing how he's like, because he's going to be defending his title the next night. You kind of
Drew could interfere, I guess.
Roman could just say your belt's worthless, you're getting beat. And then that's decided, tick, tick, tick.
Drama out the ass.
Drama out
for both nights.
Yeah.